We are back with another episode of Three Treasures, which I can't even say with a straight face. What a terrible name. But today, again, we're going to follow the same pattern here where we start off with a disgusting material item. We're going to start off with something so shallow, something so corrosive to humankind. And then we're going to go throughout and end on a very sentimental, beautiful note to bring us back to Earth. So, what is so corrosive to mankind? Well, of course, a symbol of capitalism. Of course, I'm clearly being cheeky. All you commies out there, they got really excited really quickly. This is a Rolex Day-Date double quick that I just recently bought. When I bought this watch, and let me jump to the chase. It's got a pink dial. It's unbelievable. And for those of you out there who are familiar with my watch collection, you know that I have the same watch with a purple dial. So I've become a bit of a collector of pink and purple Rolex Day-Dates. And that's kind of cool, I gotta say, but they're really rare. They're not just expensive. Well, in the watch world, they're not expensive, but I think in the normal world they are. They're rare, and that's really cool. And I'm really lucky to have two of them. I really mean that. I really mean that. I'm not just fortunate to say, oh yeah, I just bought a Day-Date very flippantly. I think I'm really lucky that this was offered to me. It was offered publicly. No one wanted it in the quick 2 seconds, or not the 2 seconds, but in the 10 minutes. People should have snagged it immediately. But it was being offered by a kind of whatever dealer, a good person, of course, but, not with clout, maybe. So there was no one saying this is cool. And then I bought it, and then I posted it, and everyone was like, can I buy it? And I'm like, you fuckers, think for yourself. This was cool when the other guy had it too. Anyway. Beautiful watch, double quick. It's got a loose presidential bracelet, which I actually like quite a bit. It's a little bit loose. It's very comfortable. I love the way it explodes in the light. I love how different it is. I love a Day-Date. I've actually never owned a regular Day-Date, if that's such a thing, like a gold dial or a silver dial or a white dial. I've only had weird ones, green, purple, pink, like this. And I love it. I'm definitely not selling this watch. Unfortunately, someone offered to buy it this morning. I'm not selling it. I really, really like it. I love the way it looks on my wrist. I love the feeling of it. I love that it's weird. I love that it's rare. I love that it's Tony Soprano, but also kind of effeminate or feminine. I have to pick one. Effeminate. Okay, I think that's kind of cool. I think that it's kind of cool that it's a little bit of an oxymoron Day-Date. I actually have a friend, true story. Well, a friend of a friend, but I think he's my friend too, a foot doctor. Why is that relevant? It's not. In fact, you know what? The one time I asked him about foot advice, he seemed to be burdened by it pretty quickly, which was funny because when he asked me about watch advice, I didn't mind. Funny, isn't it? Isn't that funny? It's like my lawyer friend every once in a while. He doesn't want to talk about law. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Peter, you talk about watches with me. You're fucking me about watches. I'm going to ask you about a thing anyway. Anyway, he has this watch and he wore it to a party, and he has the same exact watch basically, and it was his father's watch, and his father bought it brand new with a sunburst silver dial and wore it so much that eventually the sunburst silver dial, because of a faulty paint or a sealant, it turned this exact color. To the point that when I saw this watch, my breath was taken away, and I said, "Oh my God, if I ever find one, I'm gonna buy it. This is incredible. God bless you. This is wildly cool. I'm so glad you get to wear your dad's watch, whatever." Whole thing, and I meant it. I also had a couple martinis, but I did mean it. Then I saw this watch, and I really thought it was his, and my heart sank. I said, "Is it possible that he sold his dad's watch?" It's happened to me a million times. I know a million people that have sold their dad's watches. I think that's crazy. God bless you all. I just can't fathom it. But maybe it's more complicated than that. In fact, maybe I sound like an asshole. I don't know. But everyone's like, my father, yeah, I don't need to hear it. Not that I don't need to hear it. You see what I mean? It's stream of consciousness. It's more complicated, I suppose. But he loved his dad. So when I saw it, I was like, is it possible that he really sold this watch? What are you doing? I verified that he did not sell his watch, but now I have this watch. So anyway, that's a whole bunch of nonsense, irrelevant to the watch, but it's beautiful. I love it. This is a treasure that I will keep for the very, very, very foreseeable future. And that's it. This is the first of the three treasures from today. The second, I have a couple of these now. I got into collecting these marketry and enamel, some marketry boxes, and I really, really fell in love with them. I'm not sure. I think this one is actually for sale in the Fiona Hair shop, but I have a couple inside that are mine that I'm keeping. That's what happens. I get really into something. I buy a couple too many, and then I sell a couple and share it. But I get really excited about it, and who needs five, So anyway, my love affair for marketry, which is essentially inlaid woodworking, started a couple of years ago, 2, 3 years ago, when I was in Geneva. I went over to Patek Philippe's museum, not the museum, their rare handcraft boutique. And I got to see them in the enamel process and the marquetry process. So there's a little Swiss man cutting wood, essentially with a machine that was powered by his foot and the cadence of his foot, keeping the machine going. And he was carving out things. And Patek Philippe makes clocks and watches of this inlaid wood. And it's unbelievable. I cannot afford a marquetry Patek Philippe. They are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. They go even more than that in certain situations. They are highly collectible, and they're crazy. They are crazy watches. But that does not mean that I cannot bring marquetry into my life, which I have through trinket boxes, through watch boxes, right? Put your rings in it, put jewelry in it, put a couple of bucks in cash in it, whatever, put your keys in it, whatever. I'm a big advocate for filling your space with things that you love and things that you think are beautiful and bring, warmth and passion into your life, even if for a fleeting second. And this is a beautiful one. So this is available in the Theo and Harris shop, whereas this watch is not. So go ahead and take a look at it. Whether you buy it or not, it's up to you, but definitely take a look at the beautiful marquetry. Last but not least, always on the sentimental note, this is a copy of Adam Grant's originals. Don't quote me exactly. I believe that there was a collaboration. No, don't quote me exactly. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just forgot. Adam Grant, I believe, was a professor of business at University of Pennsylvania. I'm remembering this from when I read the book many years ago, and he passed on Warby Parker as a business concept at the time before it became Warby Parker. And it is the story of what he didn't see in Warby Parker that was there the whole time, what he didn't see in these entrepreneurs that he should have. And had he seen it, he'd have been a billionaire. That is the point of this story. And then, what he gets to is he didn't see that they had this, original kind of, identity or fabric that he should have bet on the whole time. The reason that this is significant is because when I decided to pursue entrepreneurship, when I had Theo and Harris, and it was very, very small and very, very young, and before I had my marketing firm and all these other things, really, I had no money. My mom and I were very much at odds. My mom wanted me to go to law school because I had earlier said I wanted to go to law school, and then I backed out, and I didn't want to go to law school. And she and I were really at odds to the point where my mother and I really very rarely spoke for like a year, a little bit less than a year, which is crazy because everyone knows my mom and I are, and always have been since I was a little boy, the best of friends. But I was very stubborn and brave, I would say. My mother was very stubborn and I think overwhelmed, right? That she believed that her son was throwing away his potential to go and be something great for a risk in entrepreneurship that was almost sure to fail. Now, I don't think that she thought that because she thought that I was an idiot, but rather that our family has a history of not being good entrepreneurs. Many people around us were failed entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that barely got by. We don't have any wildly successful entrepreneurs in our lives. And my mother grew up in a household where, the phone would get turned off, because there was no money, because dad's an entrepreneur. He's not very good at it. So I think that she was very afraid of that. And we eventually, kind of made peace when I think upon graduating high school, or graduating college rather. She gifted me this book. And again, we had fought, and then tension for a long time. And we didn't talk about it for very long after that. So there was a bit of a Cold War thing going on. There was hot war and then Cold War. And then she gave me this book. And inside it, she wrote, "I will always believe in you, Mom, XOXO 2016. And now that is, of course, like, if you don't know the story, like, not like, okay, I'll always believe in you. But at the time, that was like a wild thing because we had had such a tumultuous relationship at that point. There was so much fighting, there was so much yelling and crying and all this. And then, she essentially came with a peace offering and said, basically, I tried to get you to stop, but apparently you're not. So I believe in you. I love you. I'll be here for you, help you, but best of luck. And Anyway, I needed that very much because as a mama's boy, right, as a very stereotypically Italian American youth that needs the support of his mother, this meant a great deal to me, and it still does. And this remains my mantle till today. So now I buy day-dates flippantly, Mom. Okay, I'm just kidding, but I love you, Mom. I love all of you guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying this series. And that's it. Go ahead to the Theo Harris Watch Shop. Take a look at something, buy something, if you will. We are a family business, a product of reconciliation. So go buy something and support us. And God bless you all. I'll see you soon.